We are in Kirkwood, Missouri to hear Kelly Bishop speak. Emily Gilmore, she just came out with this book, The Third Gilmore Girls. We're wearing fabulous suits. And we're here with my reading buddy, Megan. And we're gonna have so much fun. The Ford is by Amy Sherman Palladino.
The amazing Kelly Bishop. Welcome to St. Louis.
Thank you. I just got a great welcome. Thank you. Wonderful.
Have you gotten to see any of St. Louis today?
The hotel room?
Okay. What's the review? Good?
Yeah, a view of the roof, actually.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I figure if there's a fire, I know I can just jump out.
Yeah. That's our utmost concern. That's certainly why they put you there. They were like, we have to keep her safe.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm glad. This is not your first time in St. Louis, though, is it?
I think it might be. I can't remember being here before, and I'm thinking about shows I toured in, which weren't very many.
I think
but
you might
know.
have
I
toured.
think this
Really?
is it.
Okay. Well, we're thrilled you're here now.
Thank you.
Well, so I'm wondering if you could talk to us a little bit about when you started to write this memoir and how it came into being.
Well, through the years, people have said, not every day certainly, but Kelly, you should write a book, or you should write a book. I'm telling a story and they go, you should write a book. And it got to a point that so many people were saying it that I thought, are they telling me I'm talking too much? It's like, shut up and write a book,
I feel that I can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday morning, let alone to sit down and reflect upon years of your life and figure out what memories to put into a memoir. How did you decide? How did you drudge up things that you might have forgotten?
It's just, I started talking with my co-writer, and she would ask me questions too, and I just kind of really started from the beginning, but the book starts with a phone call to me from a dear friend who was a dancer about getting together a group of dancers, and then the story gets more convoluted from there. But the reason that's a good place to start was because Chorus Line was the thing that really opened the door for me. I mean, I was a dancer for years. And was very happy dancing. I was a really good dancer, and I worked all the time, and I loved dancing. But I also know that it's a short career, and all dancers know that. So Chorus Line ultimately was the job that opened the door, and that's actually, in my mind, what I wanted to call the book was "And Then the Door Opened," but that sounds like a mystery or something. And so it's just, I started there, and then we started going back, back into my childhood, and then kind of incorporating that with, again, the Chorus Line. And then it just became a sort of chronological run with jumping back. I don't know, she led me the way quite a lot, which is why I wanted a co-writer, because I don't know how to structure a book, so yeah, it was an amazing little journey. I think everybody secretly would like to write their biographies. We all have really interesting lives and things to say and opinions about stuff, but this time I got to do it, and I'm old enough that I thought, well, if I don't do it now, I don't know.
The Third Gilmore Girl. Gilmore Girls has obviously become quite an iconic show. Did you have any sense when you first started filming, when you first saw the script, what this was going to be like years later?
No, I didn't, and I loved the writing, and I loved the show. I was so proud to do it. Stage actors, and that was the bulk of my experience, are a little bit snobbish about, especially television. They were pretty okay with movies, but television was just, we were doing art, they were doing commerce, but we would go off and do a pilot or something because we could make some money that you weren't making on stage. But it was kind of, you know, it's like, well, I'm doing a pilot, oh yeah, I've got a guest spot on the show. And I read this script and I fell in love with it. And every script that I got thereafter, and I had no idea. I wished more people would be watching it, and because I thought people would really start to really get it. But Lauren Graham and I had an event at the beginning of the week, and she told me. She told me, and I don't remember this at all, but I don't remember an awful lot these days, is that she said that I'd said to her something like, many years down the line, people are going to discover this and it's going to become, and I said that? I don't remember saying it, but I'm very proud of myself for having that. No, I just think it's so cool, and I always felt with this show that it's so intelligent. Well, Amy Sherman-Palladino is like really a genius. And she's really cool. It was so intelligent, the show itself, and it was so funny, and it was so fast that you had to be really pretty smart and pay a lot of attention to really get the full benefit of it. And that's why it's so nice that so many people have seen it several times, because you pick up what you missed the last time. I haven't seen it that many times, but I just thought, man, that's a good show. I was so proud. I just was so proud to be in it. So I'm thrilled about this whole world of Gilmore Girls that just floats around every place.
Team Logan, Team Jess, or Team Dean? I know, I'm sorry.
I'm Team Logan. I guess that started up probably a few years ago. I had no idea that was going on. Nobody ever talked to me about that. And I did like all of those actors, I will say. I thought they were really, really good. It was just my choice with Matt Sucre. Matt Sucre, yeah. He just has a quality about him that to me, in watching him, he seemed very manly, like an old movie star, like a Clark Gable or something. There's something about it, the way he'd turn his head and the way that he'd talk to Rory, that just seemed so manly. And the other guys were terrific, but they were more boyish. And there are even stars around today of whom I really appreciate, movie stars, who are probably in their 40s and 50s now, who still have kind of a boyish quality. Very charming. But there's something about that thing. And then, of course, we thought about this again. And Logan's parents have money.
Memorable scene from your time on Gilmore Girls?
My most memorable was the episode, for me, just because it was so much fun to play, was when the episode when Richard's mother has died. And Emily reads that letter that Richard's mother had written the night before the wedding, begging him not to marry her. And that just set her off on talk about drinking. She was coming out, didn't she even say something like, I just discovered this, it's called a mojito. And I always refer to it as my Tennessee Williams episode. I've done a couple of Tennessee Williams plays, and it's so much like that. And I mean, it just got more outrageous. And then it was one point, right towards the end of, I think, the last scene I shot on that one, they had me smoking a cigarette, drinking, smoking, like in a caftan, I had a great time with that scene.
I definitely saw some shirts floating around that have quotes from that scene.
Oh, great,
yes.
Good.
So I think you're not alone in that being one of the faves. Guys, I love this question so much. I wish this person would have signed who asked it. What did Edward Herrmann smell like?
Great question.
Yeah.
He didn't wear cologne, as I recall, and he seemed to be clean. I don't think he smelled like anything. He didn't wear cologne. I don't wear perfume much anymore, but I always had some sort of fragrance on, so, no, he didn't. He didn't smell like a man.
What books do you think Emily would be reading today?
Interesting. I think she would be reading Dickens. I think she'd be reading like David Copperfield or I don't know, maybe Anna Karenina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something. I think that she'd go off and explore that. I don't know what Emily's head is like right now, but life changed so dramatically for her at the end that I think that she went to that silly whale museum. I mean, that was the strangest storyline I ever saw in my life. It was just so organic for Emily. I mean, you'd never think that she'd do it, but so who knows what? I kind of keep thinking that she's off in Europe and touring the world and staying for a while in one place and maybe making new friends. I don't know, but yes, I think that she'd explore that just to get into that world, maybe to repeat that world that will never come back, So
I feel you need to know that you did a great job answering that question, because any other time that we ask an author, what books are you reading or what would this character be reading, they always say, I don't know, I've never read a book in my life. It just goes out, when you're put on the spot, it just goes out the window. I like also, great answer, I really like imagining a universe where Emily Gilmore, where her head is at now, is sitting in a clawfoot bathtub and discovering romance novels.
My perfect Sunday. It's probably like many other days when I'm not working, but the perfect any day for me is that cup of coffee. I need my coffee, the very first thing, and then I have to go through my chores, which is I get up kind of early these days, which I was a real night owl when I was younger for a long time. But there's a stray cat that comes to my porch and has for about 7 or 8 years. I cannot get him to come into the house. He's the sweetest animal in the world. He's very healthy. He talks to us. He rubs on the dog's legs, but he comes for breakfast and dinner, and he's waiting for breakfast at 6:30, so I get him at 6:30. And then, of course, the dog says, wait a minute, did I hear the front door open? And so she's up. So I have to do all the animal duties and get the dog outside and all that. And then I just plunk myself down at my computer and play card games. not with other people within the thing, and drink my coffee. And then, later, if I'm good, I've gotten really bad about reading the New York Times, but I won't stop taking it. But, maybe read a couple of articles in the New York Times and just not do anything, not have to do anything. I like being home. Just do, yeah. I still find it a little hard to believe. What I'm thrilled about, and I hope it's true here, is how much people like it. Because I thought, whether I write this whole book and then nobody likes it, or nobody buys it, and that's okay, but that's fun. And I have somebody traveling with me who's in the publishing end around the airports. What we've done the last couple of days is, as we're going to the gate, she has to stop at every bookstore to see if there's a copy, and there have been. And so she has to take a picture of it, take a picture of me going. So it's really wonderful. I'm very curious to see how well it does, but I'm mainly gratified that people seem to like it. So that's really important to me, because I hate to read a dull book. That would be terrible.
You didn't.
Walk in your fabulous shoes.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna put that on.
They are fabulous. And then we got ice cream. What'd you get?
The bat brew.
Bat brew.